Hello everyone, it's Nox, and today let's talk about No Rest for the Wicked. So I've been playing it since early access came out. I finished the Act 1, I guess that's what we're calling it, like the first chapter of the story. I'm level 14 on this character, and I did a little bit of the Crucible. I haven't been farming too much stuff yet, but I wanted to get my impressions out there and sort of kind of state where the game is at and see how I feel about it. First off, the developers are calling this an action RPG, and it is so much closer to Dark Souls and Elden Ring than it is Diablo, Path of Exile, Last Epoch. So if you're fans of Diablo, Path of Exile, Last Epoch, anything in that real, I would say real action RPG genre, you're gonna have a harsh awakening here, unless you're also a fan of the Souls games. You know, if you like Dark Souls, great, you will love this game. If you like Elden Ring, great, you will love this game. Anything that's Souls like, this is so much closer to that than it is anything Diablo. I will say that I had a really great time with the game. Again, I wouldn't call it an action RPG. I'd call it a Souls-like with a different camera. Look, man, I mean, I don't know. I guess the developers can call it whatever they want. So obviously the game's beautiful. This is on the performance settings of the graphics. Granted, I'm only getting 85-ish FPS standing here in town, and standing next to this little waypoint thing here. But game's really beautiful, especially for early access, so it has a definite level of polish. The gameplay itself, really great, and I really enjoyed it. I will say the first day I played it, man, I almost refunded it, to be completely frank with you. There was an issue with stamina, like you had like basically none, like starting out, and it's not like you can level up until you kill stuff, and so it felt like you would roll once and be completely out of stamina. That's since fixed now, so that's good. This video is being recorded after the 4th hotfix, after they fixed some of the mining and resource stuff. So yeah, just so you guys know, it's current as of April 24th at 4 p.m. Pacific. So there you go. Okay, let's talk about the good stuff. The game's pretty. The combat is awesome, especially if you're like Dark Souls. I think the character building system is really interesting. You have essentially different builds you can go into. I went to a two-handed with stacking strength. Just, you know, want to hit things with my big heavy sword. That was pretty satisfying gameplay. The sound design in the game is just awesome. It's very chunky. It's brutal. It's bloody. I love the art style. I think the idea of cursed armor is actually really cool. So just leading into itemization, which I think is another positive of the game. Like, you know, lots of great stats on this gear, but then no healing over time. And what they mean by that is, like, if I ate this mushroom, it would do nothing. But it does have health regen. So I'm assuming health regen works. It seems like it does. When I fall off of a cliff or something, my health will slowly regenerate. So if I just take some damage here, you'll see my health slowly trickle up to full again. So there you have it. Other good things about the game, again, I think the boss design is really great. I think this could compete with any From Software title, to be completely frank with you, as far as boss design goes. Very interesting bosses that feel challenging, like you'll die to them several times, unless you're absolutely amazing at these kinds of games. I personally am not, even though I still enjoy them. And so, yeah, you will love that if you're interested in slower, more methodical gameplay. But let's get into the negatives here. So the first and foremost, being inventory. So as you play through the game, you'll get these things called Ichors, and they are used to either upgrade one of these sort of stash slots here on your character, which I found very strange. The key items one is maxed out, obviously, but like you kill a boss and you get a token to essentially upgrade the stash space, and this is like a certain kind, and this is the biggest issue. This is the resources tab. There are so many different resources in this game that this is insufficient. Um, Mushrooms only stack to 20 and you get a ton of them. That's like, they're like a main cooking ingredient. Herbs only stack to 20. Everything only stacks to 20. And they're like main ingredients for things that you use to, make food, which is absolutely necessary. If you're used to a Souls game, food is your Estus flask. So rather than, healing and getting full Estus flasks and all of these things, like, these are inventory things that you need to manage, that you need to cook, that you need to gather materials for, which leads into the next thing. There's 4 different kinds of gathering in the game, not counting just picking up loot off the ground. You have fishing, you have mining, you have wood cutting, and you have digging. These, when the game first came out, were ridiculous. Like, I counted, and like literally I spent 20 seconds, like 20 real seconds mining a node to get like 1 piece of silver. It was actually this piece of silver. That's absurd. They've since toned it down. It still takes a while. It's still 3 to 5 seconds of not killing monsters to get a little resource that you eventually will hopefully use later. And again, like, the inventory is completely insufficient. There is a chest in the main hub that you first unlock. That's a community chest that everyone has access to. And by everyone, I mean everyone that you invite to your realm. There's no multiplayer yet, but you can make more characters on the same realm. And that has essentially like a full one of these, but even then, not sufficient. If I wanted to save, pieces of gear, so like, for example, if I wanted to save this bow for the next character that I wanted to make, and I wanted to save all the resources that I was collecting, there's just not enough space. You can buy other treasure chests. The ones that I have unlocked are only 10 slots. I know you can upgrade them more, but again, completely insufficient. It is a frustrating part of the game. If you think inventory management in Diablo 4 is bad, this is that turned up to 11. So now you know. Going on to the next negative, there's some time gating in the game, and this is a huge negative for me. I think that this is kind of absurd, actually. I haven't messed around with my Windows clock or anything like that to see if there's a way around it, but you will spend a great amount of your time, and the game will tell you to upgrade the town, like spend some resources. This is why you're farming. This is why you have so many resources, right? And then you have these building projects, right? So, okay, so let's say that I wanted to upgrade Whitaker's crafting shack, right? This is a time needed of 1 hour. This is 1 hour of real time. This is not in-game, doesn't move faster. It's one hour. Okay. This one, to get to level 3, because I've already upgraded it once, is 4 hours. So the game is telling me to go out, farm these materials, which takes time, then come back to the town, talk to this guy, interact with this menu, then upgrade it, then wait 4 hours before I can like earn the fruits of my labor. I don't know if it's telling me to stop playing the game to take a break or something. This feels like mobile game time gating, and it's quite frankly a bunch of bullshit. I hate this. This is so stupid. It is early access. They can remove this at any point, but I'm making the statement right now. This is dumb. There's like, I cannot think of a single reason why I would need to wait. Why would I want to wait 4 hours to get something in a video game that I've already spent time gathering resources for? Just saying. Like, you can't get wood from anything other than going and farming lumber and like chopping down trees, to my knowledge anyway. Iron you can occasionally find in a chest. Clay you can occasionally find in a chest, but it's very, very rare that you find any of these materials outside of actually digging, mining, or chopping wood. There you go. Soapbox ended. The other thing, there's no respec in the game currently. That's pretty frustrating. They said that that's coming, so I'm just going to briefly touch on that. There's currently no respec in the game, so don't screw up, I guess. They will be releasing that soon. The game is $35, $34-ish if you get a discount. I think it's on sale on Steam or something like that right now. Do I think it's worth $35? I would say yes, it is. I've gotten about 16 hours of gameplay out of it currently right now, and I've barely touched the Crucible, which is like the end game sort of farming system that they have right now. It's reminiscent of Rifts in D3, but it's a little bit more linear and a little bit less randomized, at least as far as I can tell. Again, I've barely touched them, so I don't want to touch on the end game system just yet. Other than that, I think the game is very solid. I think that there's a lot to dig into here as far as like the itemization and the rune system. The runes are essentially like they're the weapon spells from Elden Ring. So mine is like this juggling strike. I haven't really focused on that on this character, but I've seen some builds out there that are crazy. Mages use all of your spells are tied to this as well, which I think could be a pro and it could be a con, because it means that your weapon, you know, if you want to be an ice mage, you need an ice staff. That might be a pro, that might be a con for you. I haven't played with that around too much, so I'm not going to comment on it just yet. I think overall, as far as an early access, not even full week of early access since it's been out, this is a very solid title. I think this is definitely something to keep an eye on. If you're on the fence about it, stay on the fence. Don't buy it just yet. I would wait and see. They've pushed out 4 hot fixes that have addressed many of the issues that I've talked about in this video. Specifically, you know, the taking forever to mine resources, etc. But there's some other things that I would like to see addressed, such as like the stash system, etc. And yeah, I think No Rest for the Wicked is a pretty solid game. I would give it a 7 out of 10. When I first played it, I was so frustrated that I gave it like a 4 out of 10. And then I like took a break from it for a day. They released 2 hot fixes in 24 hours and it was awesome. And then I came back and felt much better about the game. So there you go. Solid 7 out of 10. I'm going to continue playing it. I want to make another character. So that is my thoughts on it. This one went a little bit longer and it's a little bit more unscripted. Hopefully you guys like this kind of content. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you like this video, please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.